I just realized I was on mute. Hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to week 12. I'm going to give everyone just a minute or two longer to jump on, and then I'll get started. Any success over the last 12 weeks and you want to share? Feel free to put it in the chat box for us. We'd love to hear it. I do have one disclaimer for today. My air conditioning went out upstairs where the girls sleep at night. It was 80 degrees last night while they were sleeping. Felt terrible. And someone's coming to fix it. So I might have to pause our class. I really apologize if that happens, but just giving y'all a heads up if it does. Hopefully not. Okay. I think we're good. I'm going to get started. Final session. Here we go. All right, last week we talked about the true fast and why to do one. Did anyone attempt the true fast without anything added to your coffee or tea, without any training wheels? Did you try it out? Let us know. If you missed it, the true fast, I was giving reasons to why you might want to consider it, and just to kind of end the class on the importance of fasting and why you may want to continue it outside of this 12-week program. Hopefully you do. But the way we live has such an significant impact on our health, things that we do every single day, stressors we expose our bodies to, foods we put in our bodies, the way we sleep, if we exercise, if we move, everything we do is having an impact on our body. Eating a high carb diet speeds up our aging. It increases inflammation in our body, it increases oxidative stress, and fasting on the flip side allows our body to enter this state of autophagy where our dysfunctional cells start to repair themselves. You can see skin repair, so you can see repair on the outside as well as the inside, but research has shown that fasting is the most potent stimulator of autophagy. So if you're doing it, it's really good beyond weight loss. It's really great for all things. The downregulation of gene expression associated with oxidative stress and oxidative damage. And then fasting just lowers our chronic inflammation. It restores our hormonal balance. And it gives our body a more favorable, healthy environment to live in. So I gave you all this schedule of a 24-hour protocol. Now, I mentioned that you are going to enter autophagy around the 16:8 or the 18:6. You'll just be on the edge of entering autophagy. So it's great to be in that fasting protocol. It's also even better to do a 24-hour every once in a while, maybe once a week, maybe more. Have you tried it yet? Let us know. But one of the most important things in a true fast is sticking to the plain fluids. So just water, nothing added, just coffee, nothing added, or just tea. That's what we can use to stay full. All right. In our last session, I want to talk about how you can become your own self-coach, because you are the one inside your head every single day. So what kind of internal self-coach are you being? It's really important, really, really important how you talk to yourself. All right. So what we say inside of our head is really what makes what we do come to fruition. Whether we move our body, whether we dive into emotional eating, whether we let stress take over or we overcome it, everything that we say to ourselves frames who we are and how we deal with things. So I want you to think about Are you a critical internal self coach, or are you an affirming internal self coach? Now, I can say that you would not want me to be your self coach if I would, or your health coach, if I was critical towards you. Now, some people might like that, but that's not really productive. A critical self coach is going to highlight insecurities, going to highlight what's wrong, going to highlight what you didn't do right. An affirming self coach will accept insecurities and reframe them. So maybe things didn't go perfectly today, but that's okay. You can get back on board tomorrow. Or maybe you can think about the things that did go well today, right? What did I do well today? Instead of thinking, how did I not make this day absolutely perfect? A critical self coach will use negative descriptions for efforts. I failed. I didn't get my fasting in today. An affirming self coach will use positive descriptions for efforts. I didn't get my fasting in today, but I did eat all whole foods and I stayed away from sugar and carbs. Yay, me. So you do have to really work on flipping the script. Critical will remind you of the failed attempts, and an affirming will remind you of success and progress. A critical self coach will tell you that you can't do it. And then an affirming one will find resources so that you can figure out how to do it, so that you can do it. So you don't get stuck in this hamster wheel of doing things over and over that don't work, but you're going to keep exploring and keep investigating, reading, finding resources that you need that are going to make you go into this person that can do it. All right. And then a critical self coach only gives credit for positive outcomes versus an affirming self coach will find value in the effort, find value in the change. So, really, a critical self coach is going to be like the person that gets on the scale, and if it didn't move that day, then everything's out the window. An affirming one is going to find value in I got my fasting in today, I ate whole foods today, I stayed away from sugar. My weight didn't move, but I'm doing the right things and I'm going to continue forward and trust the process. Critical self coach will demand that perfection, and then affirming will embrace the journey that it is. Are you just feeling better overall? Are you seeing an increase in your ability to sleep better, better, move more, make better food choices than you used to? All right. So invest in learning. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest, says Benjamin Franklin. I want you to think about where you need more information. Or do you have all the information that you need? But some topics you could consider investing in are maybe recipes, maybe a better way to grocery shop, maybe a better way to plan your meals, maybe a better way to make meal times easier. Food is a huge part of what we do every single day, right? I mean, we have to eat, and it takes a lot of brain power to figure out what to eat. Fasting, of course, you can always learn more about fasting. I'm going to give you a great blog to look into, one that I love. And then sleep, we can always invest in better sleep habits, learning more about our sleep. A lady this past week told me about doing a sleep study, and that just sounds so interesting because I wonder, like, when people do the sleep studies and they'll say, oh, you woke up X amount of times in the night, and that's not really good sleep. So I wonder, I just wonder, like, are we sleeping good? Are we actually sleeping when we're sleeping? Are we getting the quality sleep that we need? Who knows? But we could always invest in learning more about our sleep too. Movement, there's a ton to learn about movement, ton of ways to do movement. We have an exercise program if you need help with movement. If you need an exercise plan, I can help direct you to the right person. It's not me, I'm a nutritionist, but we do have some exercise well-being specialists that can help make a plan for you. And then emotional well-being. That is a whole world of opportunity out there. So, learning how to deal with our stress, learning how to deal with our emotions. I have my 3.5-year-old going to play therapy so she can figure out how to deal with her emotions. She has really, really big emotions. And the doctor, we met with her yesterday, was like, this is so good for her to like get a hold of how to deal with herself internally at such a young age. People don't ever get this opportunity in life, period. But we do have counselors that can work with you if you need help with your emotional well-being, people that can talk with you. It's under our concern program. So if you want to invest in that moving forward, I've used them a couple times and I think they're fantastic. And I just love when people say everybody needs counseling. It's true because when I do like a one-on-one health coaching, it's not ever about just what you eat and just what you exercise. There is a million other things going on in your life that need to be addressed so that you can get to your favorite version of yourself. So consider these different categories, consider where you might need more investing, and I'm about to send you out on your own, so you get to choose your direction. I do want to give you some of my favorites just in case you need a head start. Feasting at home is one of my favorite ways to find recipes. If you're like, I'm tired of Diet Doctor, that's the only person you gave us. It is a good place to start because it's just such clean recipes. But if you want to explore out more, check out Feasting at Home. She does healthy seasonal whole food recipes. A lot of them are plant powered, which I love. I'm like probably 75% vegetarian. So I like to center my meals around vegetables, and that's exactly what she does. So, I mean, everything I've made from her site, can y'all see this? I probably need to share my screen differently. No, hold on. Let me share in a different way. Yeah, share my whole screen. There we go. Okay. She does simple weeknight dinners, but look at that blueberry salad. It looks so good. Easy dinner ideas. So if you need some ideas, she's so awesome. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Everything looks beautiful and just like summer. I've done that barbecue tofu sandwich and I did it without the bun because I was fasting. I did that like last summer, I think. But barbecue tofu on the grill, did that slaw, put some avocado on top. Such a good idea. Things that you may not ever think of, but if you have the time, I would check it out. All right. Let's see what I have another recommendation. All right. If you need meal prep, HelloFresh is my go-to. Um, I order their meals and I use them for like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday dinners. If you need something easy, it's a great way to have dinner or lunch delivered to your door. And they have some great, I've been using HelloFresh for probably 4 years. Like since my first child was born, I've been using them. And my husband and I never get tired of their food. It's so good. And there is a health coach, not health coach, there's a Baptist discount that you can use for HelloFresh. So if you want it, let me know, or you can look it up. It's under like the first responders. Let's see. It's a 55% discount on your first box. Amazing. And 15% off all other box with free shipping for a whole year. So all you have to do is go to this ID Me and you'll upload your Baptist ID to verify you're a Baptist employee, and then they'll add it to your account. Okay. Favorite way to work out, favorite way to move. I haven't gotten over the Peloton app. If I've told you about it, I love it. I still use it. It's $12.99 a month. I don't use the bike. I don't use the treadmill. I don't like either one of those. I love their classes and I tell everyone about them. They're so professional and you can choose 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You can choose yoga. I just started running again and using their outdoor running has been awesome. I got my husband doing it just last week and he was like, this is like going to Orange Theory without going to Orange Theory. I was like, yeah, they're super motivating. They have the music picked out for you. They'll walk you through the intervals. If you want walking, you can do that too. Stretching, I use a lot of. The stretching is great. The yoga is great. Highly recommend it. It's got to be one of the most affordable workout packages that you could do for $12.99 a month, as well as just like hundreds of classes to choose from, hundreds of options. You can try it free for 30 days. This is the podcast if you want more information on fasting. This is where I get a lot of my information. I love Dr. David Sinclair. He works for Harvard. He's a Harvard doctor. His whole goal and his work is longevity. So his podcast is great because he's going to go through the science of fasting and it's pretty deep. Like I've had to listen to it multiple times to truly comprehend it. 4.9 rating. But he has a guy that he does it with, and he's a very average Joe that will break down what Dr. David Sinclair is explaining, and he'll break it down into like layman's terms for you. And that's what I like the most about the podcast. So if you want other ideas on longevity beyond like our eating, so they go into like the exercise, the heat, the cold, adding those stressors that can help with your longevity, brain health, all the things. It goes really deep into just so much, but that's probably my favorite podcast for fasting. So our next steps, want you to consider what you need. I want you to try to mindfully choose, of course, what's going to work best for you. Determine if it's making a difference, and always be flexible and adjust and trust that you know what's best for you. So I want to leave you with the idea of these dials and adjusting your dials. You'll have these because you'll have the presentation, but I'm not going to go into them like detailed. It's really just a concept that I want you to consider. You can think about movement on a dial, nutrition on a dial, sleep on a dial. There's social, stress and environment as well. But what you do is it's a 1 to 10 dial the way they've set it up. I personally would do maybe like a 1 to 5 or maybe even a 1 to 3. I would simplify it. Or you could do a 1 to 10 with like everything on the dial. Like you can combine everything. So like a 10 would be perfect sleep, perfect fasting, perfect movement. Like you're hitting all your goals. And then a 1 is not turning things off like we tend to do when we get overstimulated, overstressed, very tired, and we just turn things off. Nutrition's out the window, sleep's out the window, definitely not moving, definitely stressed. That's where I want you to try to focus on, all right, when things are very, very hard, what's my 1 going to be? Like, what's my bare minimum that I can do for my nutrition? Could I still keep sugar out of my diet? Could I still stick to whole foods? Could I still fast? And then for sleep, what does that look like if it's at a bare minimum? Can I still try to get my bare minimum like 7 hours? If not, like what is the 1 gonna look like? What's the 10 look like? Or the 5, whatever you decide your scale is. I mean, a 10 for me on sleep would be like 10 hours. I used to could, like, every now and then get 10 hours of sleep, and it was amazing. That's never gonna happen again. I'd be happy with 8, which I never get. Currently, I'm at a 7. And then movement's really fun to do on a scale because you can always increase your movement. I just started back tennis, so I've gotten the running going so I can get better at my tennis game. So incorporating movement, I love adding in different things, changing it up, not sticking to the same thing for too long because you're going to get tired of it and your body's going to get used to it. So giving yourself a switch up and knowing, am I ready to adjust the dial up and increase my exercise, increase my fasting, increase my sleep, decrease my stress, hang out with my friends more? Environmentally is like, what can you do in your environment? Can you remove trigger items from your kitchen? Like something super simple. Is there something holding you back in the kitchen that you're like, can't stay away from this thing? And it's really, I just need to get rid of it. Other environmental things are like having dumbbells so that you can do some strength training. Maybe you're probably not going to do this, but it's a funny one on the list. Move TV to a room you don't use very much. So basically, trying to get the TV out of your bedroom. Um, Maybe go into the farmer's market. Maybe finding new things that way. So your environment can include so many things. Meal prepping, getting a treadmill. Someone just told me they got a Deskerciser meal delivery service. That's part of your environment, just making life easier. What do you need? How can you create a dial for yourself? Basically, what you're going to do is decide, where am I now on the dial? And what would it look like if I turned it up a notch? And what would it look like if I had to go down a notch without turning things all the way off, without ever really pausing on my plan, always making sure that I'm focusing on something. Because every decision, every choice is going to make a difference in moving you forward. And then don't forget to celebrate. You have hopefully come a long way in the last 12 weeks. Reading through your trackers, I feel like y'all are making great progress. I love that you're setting your own goals and you're hitting them. Make sure to celebrate though. Maybe it's watching a movie or going to the movies, scheduling a massage or a pedicure, buy yourself something new, an outfit, a water bottle, a lunchbox, flowers, tennis shoes, a book, candle, maybe new pajamas. Schedule a date with a friend, take a mental health day from work, plan a trip, explore a little town. We went and explored New Albany this past weekend. That was so fun. We traveled from Oxford through Pontotoc, went through a little orchard and picked peaches, and then we went on to New Albany and had lunch and ice cream with the girl. That we got the girls ice cream, shopped for them a little bit, but exploring a little town, it can be so fun. Maybe start an herb garden. I don't know why summertime they don't have a plethora of basil, but all I want is Capri salad. So we got peaches from the orchard. If you take peaches, slice them up like tomato caprese, but do peach caprese with the mozzarella and the fresh basil, a little balsamic and olive oil. It's divine. Highly recommend it. And then when tomato season comes in, you can mix in the tomatoes with the peaches, and that's really good too. That's probably my last recipe I'll leave you with. All right, try a new exercise class. I know in Memphis they have like yoga at Shelby Farms on the water. Maybe try something crazy, try something new, start a new hobby, but celebrate what you have accomplished. That's really important internally for your self-coach that you're becoming, it's important to celebrate yourself and your even small accomplishments along the way, because it's going to tell your brain, just like that habit loop we talked about, it's going to tell your brain, like, this is good for me, and I want to keep going in this direction. And celebrating is a big part of that. Okay, and then my last thing I'm going to tell you about is, if fasting is if you're one of those that never got around to fasting in the last 12 weeks, then maybe fasting is not for you. That is totally fine, totally okay. I get it. We do have a new program coming in the fall called Flourish, and it's replacing our Go Healthy program. So it's newly designed by our registered dietitian that came on a few months ago. I think it's going to be awesome. If you're looking for something more, this is going to be a little more balanced. It will include carbs. If you're like, I'll just never give carbs up, this one might be good for you. I'll never fast and I'll never give carbs up. I like my sugar. This is a more balanced program. Now, just keep in mind, our program are finishing is called Dietary Lifestyle Transformation. So it's a little more intense. This is going to be a little more balanced. So just putting it out there if you need it. Flourish is coming in the fall. We'll have a schedule out soon. And I'll be continuing this class in the fall as well. So if you want to jump back in the fall, I'd love to have you. All right. Thanks for joining for the last 12 weeks. I really appreciate y'all being with us. I will be adding incentives. If you attended, let me stop sharing. If you attended 10 out of the 12 classes, I'll be adding your incentives. So you can get a $100 BMI incentive. You can get $50 for glucose and $50 for blood pressure if you attended 10 classes. So I'll be adding those here soon. Any questions or comments or feedback before we go? I love all the chat today. Yay. Went on vacation and didn't eat like I used to. That's awesome. Makes you feel so much better. And that's what vacation's all about. It's about feeling better and just kind of regrouping, maybe trying different things, but not going like crazy, crazy. So I'm glad you were able to balance that. That's awesome and what it's all about. Thank y'all. Thank you for joining us. Email me if you need anything. I'm happy to help outside of the class, of course. We can always schedule one-on-one coaching if you're interested. Yeah, y'all take care and I'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.